walking into a sprawling, brand new mansion, beaming with pride for your brother's fresh start, only to have his wife sneer at you like you're dirt under her shoe. "You poor people should go home," she snaps, her voice dripping with contempt. But then my father starts laughing, not just any laugh, but a deep, uncontrollable roar that echoes through those marble halls. What he said next left her speechless, her perfect world crumbling in seconds. This is the story of how one woman's arrogance led to her ultimate downfall. And trust me, the payback was sweeter than you can imagine. If you've ever been looked down on, underestimated, or treated like you're worth nothing by someone who thinks they're superior, this one's for you. Hit that like button if you're ready for some serious justice served cold. Subscribe for more heart-pounding revenge tales that prove karma always circles back. And let's dive in, because by the end, you'll be cheering for the underdogs who rise up. Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia, and at 25, I've built a life I'm proud of. Steady job as an office worker, a knack for saving every penny, and a family that's always had my back. But growing up, things weren't always smooth, especially with my younger brother, Ron. He's 20 now, a doctor no less, but let's just say his path to that white coat was paved with more red flags than a scam artist's playbook. Our parents, they're the definition of self-made success. Dad started from nothing, built a thriving business through sheer grit, and Mum was right there with him, managing the home front like a pro. They weren't flashy rich, no private jets or diamond-encrusted everything, but comfortable, wise, and always preaching financial smarts. "Don't waste money, kids," Dad would say over dinner, his voice steady like the anchor he was. "Life throws curveballs, and trust me, not everyone's out to help you. Learn from mistakes, but don't repeat them." I took that to heart. From a young age, I was the thrifty one, stashing allowance in a piggy bank, researching every purchase like it was a stock investment. It wasn't about being stingy, it was about security, about not wanting to burden anyone. My stomach would twist at the thought of blowing cash carelessly, my mind racing with what-ifs. What if we needed it later? What if something went wrong? Ron, though, he was the opposite. Gullible as a puppy, always quick to trust, dismissing our parents' warnings with an eye roll. "I'm not like you guys," he'd snap, his cheeks flushing with that mix of defiance and naivety. "Not everyone's out to scam you." Oh, how wrong he was. It started small in college. Ron met this friend at a party, a guy claiming to run a startup while still a student. Ron, eager to help, started funneling money his way, buying overpriced products he didn't need, all from our parents' generous allowance. At first, it was manageable, but demands grew. Ron's calls home turned desperate. "I need more for school supplies," he'd lie, his voice cracking just enough to sell it. Our parents, trusting him, upped the ante, but suspicions crept in. Dad's brow furrowed one evening as he pored over bank statements. "Send receipts," he demanded. That's when the truth unraveled like a cheap sweater. No company existed. The products, knockoffs available online for pennies. Ron had been duped, but instead of outrage, he defended the guy. "He was struggling, Dad." "He's not bad." My heart sank watching Dad's face, a mix of disappointment and worry, his hands clenching the table edge. They sent a demand letter to the friend's address, but poof, gone. Not even a real student. You'd think that'd be a wake-up call. Nope. Ron fell for it again, 3 more times, each scam more brazen. A fellow med student with a sob story about part-time jobs and family woes, complete with an IOU that vanished into thin air. Then another, same playbook. By the third, whispers in scam circles must have pegged Ron as an easy mark. He even dipped into tuition fees chasing a pyramid scheme to recoup losses. The university called home, threatening expulsion. Mum's eyes welled up, her voice trembling. We failed him financially. They covered the costs, slashed his allowance to bare bones. "If you're unhappy, drop out and earn your own," she told him firmly, though her hands shook. Ron seethed. "You favour Cynthia. She's got it all while I scrape by." He'd rant, ignoring how I'd invested my savings wisely, even funding family trips. His resentment boiled over, calling me a money grubber, his words like daggers that made my chest tighten. I hated seeing our parents stressed, their faces lined with worry over his messes. From then on, a rift grew. Years of estrangement followed as Ron finished med school, landed a job, and married Samantha. I missed the wedding, studying abroad, but met her at family reunions. Right away, her vibe was off. Cold stares, clipped words. Ron must have poisoned the well with his gripes. "You didn't love him enough," she'd hiss at our parents, her lips curling in disdain. They were appalled but bit back. Do whatever you want. Yet when her lavish wedding dreams outstripped their budget, Ron begged for help. Dad caved, one last time, handing over a chunk for the event. "This is it," he warned, his tone final. "You're a family man now, stand on your own." I argued against it, my pulse racing with frustration. He'll just ask for more. Samantha sees us as a cash cow, but Dad insisted, last mercy. Fast forward a few years, Ron's doctor salary couldn't keep up with Samantha's extravagance. Debts piled up, shopping sprees, luxury trips they couldn't afford. They hit rock bottom, begging for bailout. Dad's refusal was ice cold. "You left our family, handle your mess." Ashamed to only call when broke. Still, compassion won. A friend of Dad's entered real estate. Dad bought a property to support him. A sprawling countryside mansion, all modern luxury with vast lands. To Ron, drowning in eviction notices. "Rent it cheap until you're stable." Last act of mercy. I objected again, my stomach churning at the entitlement. But Dad overruled. We visited to celebrate the move, me, Mom, Dad, hearts hopeful for reconciliation. The mansion gleamed. High ceilings, polished floors, the scent of fresh paint mingling with Samantha's expensive perfume. "Congrats," Dad said warmly, clapping Ron on the back. "Hope you turn things around." Then Samantha's venom struck. "Thanks for the congrats," she sneered, her eyes raking over us like we were intruders. "But now that we've got your well wishes, you poor people should go home. We don't need stingy folks ruining our vibe." The words hit like a slap. My breath caught, Mum's face paled, a heavy silence blanketing the room. Poor us, after everything? But Dad, he erupted in laughter, not mocking, but genuine belly-shaking guffaws that bounced off the walls. Tears streamed down his face as he clutched his sides. Samantha froze, her smug grin fracturing. "What's so funny?" she demanded, voice shrill. Wiping his eyes, Dad straightened, his gaze piercing. "I'm paying the mortgage on this place. I own this property, Samantha. Haven't you heard a thing from Ron?" Her jaw dropped, colour draining from her face. Ron stammered, "I told you Dad helped with the rent." But she whirled on him. "You said he helped buy it." Dad chuckled again. "How could random people afford this mansion?" "Think, woman." Fury ignited in her eyes. "We got into debt because you refused to help." Dad's laugh faded to steel. "No obligation to bail out entitled adults." She countered, trembling, "Parents support kids forever. Ron's your family. I couldn't stay silent. What about your parents' support?" Dad burst out laughing harder, revealing the bombshell. Samantha's family had begged us for cash multiple times, their business tanking. Her face blazed crimson, body quaking with humiliation. Dad's final blow. "Live here, but repay the wedding fund and what we lent your folks." Ron protested. "We can't. We're poor." Dad's retort. "Then pay slowly." I've bent over backward, and this is the thanks? Abuse from you both? We left, the door clicking shut on their stunned silence. In the car, relief washed over me, a weight lifting, validation surging like adrenaline. They'd finally faced the mirror. In the end, karma doesn't just knock, it kicks down the door. Ron and Samantha's extravagance spiraled. Debts mounted, Ron pushed for divorce but couldn't due to his affair guilt. Samantha's luxury dreams shattered. Blamed by her parents, she took a job in the adult industry to scrape by. Me? I inherited Dad's business, married a solid guy, living comfortably. Ron thought he'd snag the inheritance as the oldest son. Dad just laughed, "How can I leave it to someone who ditched us?" Lessons here: respect earns respect, and underestimating family, it bites back hard. Whew, if that revenge gave you those satisfying chills, smash the like button and drop in the comments. What's the most epic payback you've seen or pulled off? Share your stories, I read them all. Don't forget to subscribe for more tales of justice served, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay empowered, folks.